Okay, this is going to be a rush one. Let Margo in the truck with the heater. There we go. And here we are with the voiceover because my phone is connected to the Bluetooth on my truck. And of course, I'm across the street, so you won't be able to hear me. So the audio does come back later. I think my phone figures out that or just disconnects from the Bluetooth. But for now, you get me doing the voiceover after the fact. And since I can hear nothing, I don't even know what I was saying. So I'm just going to try to make this up as I go. So I'm trying to get a clear view here. Stick my arm through the fence. I mentioned at some point in this video that I was actually going to Ace Hardware. And I was at the end of my street, I looked right for any traffic, and I saw the Viking there kind of on their stack over the houses. I'm like, well, we're turning right. We're going to go see the Viking Polaris, because as we get into these months that end in R, their trips up this far north become few and far between. So I knew I had to come see them while they were here. And they went on to right outside of Thunder Bay after this. So they made the trip across the big lake there. A nice little shot here of some of the antennas. You know how much I love those. And of course the Canadian, American, and Norway flag. I'm not sure what the other one is there. I should have looked it up. If I was prepared, I'd look that up. Some more antennas, some radomes there. And I think this may be where I mentioned, because that is what I saw above the houses when I looked right there. So one interesting thing about my new phone, when I'm using the full zoom, you see how it kind of got shaky there? I don't know why it does that sometimes, but it does when you're like, it's like a 10 times zoom. So that's a lot. That sure is a pretty nice looking ship here. A few little stats on it. It's 665 feet long, 77 feet wide, and it is has a polar class of 6. So if I was prepared, I'd look that up. It was built in 2022, and 378 guests on board and 256 crew. As a nerd, anyone who's a computer nerd will appreciate the number 256. So I notice here that there's some marks on the hull from tugboats pushing on them. And normally we don't see those because they paint over them, or I'm assuming they paint over them. I don't think they scrub them off, but you never know. But I'm sure, in fact, it might be while they're up there and by Thunder Bay now, they might be tending to those. I know I mentioned, you see that bar? There's like a rectangle that sticks out there just to the, I think when they're going through the locks, that bar is what actually touches the lock wall, not the hull of the ship. So I believe that's the intention there. Get a bit of view here of those marks and those boats, tenders, I guess you call them. I don't know. They have AIS on them, and when they get to town, or they go to anchor, you see all these little boats just come out and just kind of scatter, So it's kind of neat. And they have a submarine inside as well. So I'm looking at the life rafts there, and they're already on the ramp, ready to hopefully never be used. That is the intention, to never be used. So something I didn't know is those life rafts actually have an expiration date. So they have to be checked on. Little thing I learned not too long ago. So yeah, pretty neat. It's going to be a nice ride, I'm sure, on the Viking ships here. As they get to the tail end of their season, they're going to actually be leaving the Great Lakes here at some point and heading south. When I say south, I mean Antarctica south. Because when it's winter here, well, it's summer down there. So they're always going. So pretty cloudy, as you see. And as I mentioned, I think I mentioned, it was raining off and on, ended up raining off and on all day. and I made zero progress on any of my painting of my house just because of weather. But I know I pull my arm out here because I want to get around that pole that's right, kind of dissecting it from our view, with minimal success here. There we go. It's funny, as I'm recording this, I can hear the audio from the Bluetooth on my truck, and I can hear Argo occasionally. So it's kind of funny. So here, really quick, the audio will come back, what I was saying. So I will cut to myself and pass self. No way around it. Just how it is. They got a little bit of the good light on them. I'm gonna come back. There we go. It's always cool to see them. Yeah, see, they got like some sunlight on them. See how they're popping out there? That's cool. Well, that's a happy accident right there. I could lie to you and tell you I planned the whole thing, but that's not how I roll. Come on, focus. There we go. Now sometimes this is the full zoom on my phone here. Sometimes it gets a little wonky. I'm sorry for the wind noise. I know you're hearing it. I see it on the meter. There we go. That's gonna do it right there. A very rushed shot of the Viking Polaris. And as I look up at these trees, the days of green leaves, well, they're numbered. That is for sure. These haven't started yet, but a lot of them have. In fact, if I zoom in a bunch, we'll see one right there. Starting to turn. Pop back over here and go tend to the best boy. Thanks for joining myself. Well, and Argo, he's here just a bit. I know it says no pets, but he's not out. He's in the truck, so it's okay. There, dog. Right, Argo. There he is. He's the best boy. Thanks for joining myself and Argo. We'll be back really soon. Right, dog? That's right.